Previously on Tyson Johnson's Meet the Fighter.
David Mitchell, how you doing?
How you doing?
Tyson Johnson, Meet the Fighter.
Nice to meet you, brother.
So this is your place, huh?
This is my spot, downtown Sacramento.
Yeah, he's a strong guy,
Yeah,
really
so-
tough, and I think it's going to be an excellent fight between two great warriors. I look forward to seeing you guys fight. I can't wait.
Yeah, I usually just roll over there just like this.
Oh yeah, I'm just flops and in your gym bag, huh? Here we are in downtown Sacramento. We're right here at one of the #1 gyms in the world, Ultimate Fitness, home of Uriah Faber and so many others that come here to train from around the world. So we're going to do some training here. We're going to watch our show star today, David Mitchell, as he trains and gets prepared for his next fight.
Flawless Boxing and Fitness. So we work with boxers of all levels. It's fitness to get you in shape for whatever your goals are. We'll get you in shape with your fitness needs, but also we train the elite fighters for specific fights, MMA and boxing as well.
So come along as I invite you to meet the fighter. On Meet the Fighter.
Meet the Fighter. Well, there is.
Meet the Fighter.
Awesome dude right here, and we're gonna do some big things.
Meet the Fighter.
So Joe, it's a pleasure meeting you. Thanks for having us here. We headed over to the Natural Food Co-op in downtown Sacramento. It's a great place to find all of your delicious, healthy food choices. Many of the local athletes come here as part of their eating and dietary management programs.
Favorite kale salad right here. My kale and beet salad. Some fresh fruit.
Black Mamba and Bulletproof coming at you live, baby.
Yeah, my boy right here.
Saturday.
Fighting tomorrow.
He's in
2 weeks.
Representing Sacramento, California. Team Alpha Male all day. Co-op, feeding it, getting strong.
After ordering up some delicious food and running into MMA veteran and Team Alpha Male member DJ Robertson, it was time to get down to the nitty-gritty with David Mitchell. It was time to find out a little bit more about the backstory in his career and his personal life.
The supplements to keep me on point with my nutrition.
You feel it's cheating? You feel these fighters that are taking the TRT and then still, at the time they were able to fight, you feel that's cheating? You feel they've got an advantage over fighters like yourself who are coming in all natural and you don't have that extra boost?
If the athletic commission allowed it, then it's not cheating. Then they're just doing what they can to be successful. But I mean, it's not a level playing field. If I'm not taking TRT and their levels are 6 times where I'm at, then there's no way that. Theoretically, I guess I shouldn't even be able to compete with guys like that. It was interesting that you bring this up because it's very, interesting, and it's something I think about a lot, because you see athletes and you hear about the debate, and I think Nevada just banned it, and so that's kind of the trend right now, and I think that's good. I think that we'd be better off just keeping the sport natural and, just trying to keep a level playing field for all the athletes. I want to rematch with Mike Pierce. I want to rematch with Paulo Thiago. When I fought Paulo Thiago, I flew to Brazil, and my contract with UFC was at $6,000 and $6,000. I had a broken neck. I had a 80% impinged nerve in my neck, and I had just taken cortisone shot. It's like X-ray guided cortisone, and I was on prednisone, and I was like really messed up. And since then, I got my neck fixed. I got surgery. I'm fully recovered now. I feel like I can win those fights. The UFC bring me back, and I think I can make an impact in the UFC now.
In the UFC, you were there. You were 11-0. The UFC calls and says, "Hey, David Mitchell, come on up here, be a part of the big league." You're first 2 fights you lost, you won 1 fight, and then you lost your next 2 fights. You got released. Okay? Probably not the best day in your life. What did that mean to you? How did that feel?
By the time I actually got released by the UFC, it was actually a huge relief because it was a lot of pressure, and I wasn't really getting paid hardly any money, and there's a lot there. It's a big question. I was starting to suffer from my neck injury, and it was like a degenerative thing where it was getting worse and worse. And I went and I had a fight. I had a fight scheduled to fight Phil Collins for $6,000 and $6,000 at Tachi Palace, which is like unheard of to get that kind of money in a regional show. Like people are like 600 and 600. No, I'm like 6,000 and 6,000. And instead, I went to UFC for the same money to fight an absolute monster in T.J. Waldberger in his hometown. It was a decision that I don't regret anything because you just live life, but it's a decision that I would have made differently. And I'm not like super upset about it, but I went there, I lost, and then I went to Brazil. Again, 6,000 and 6,000, and then Brazilian taxes taking out 30% right off the top, and then I pay for a cornerman flight. I left Brazil with a check for $2,400, and it cost more than that for the training. Basically, my whole UFC career was pretty much a loss as far as financially, and it damaged me metabolically. I had like low testosterone. I just wasn't ready for the pressure. I can't really blame UFC. I mean, I think that the contract should be higher, but when I went to Brazil against Paulo Thiago, it was a $100,000 submission bonus. Wow. No one took it home. So I left the money on the table. So, I could have took that money home, and next time I will,
Dave, you brought up moving here to Sacramento. I know December 2013, you left Santa Rosa, California, and you came down here. I want to know right now, I mean, it's understood that you're not welcome in Santa Rosa right now. You're not welcome back at your old training camp. You started off with David Terrell with NorCal Fighting Alliance. And I'm sure you developed a relationship with those guys. You're not welcome there. Tell me a little bit about that. What happened there? Why did you move from Santa Rosa, where you started, down here to Sacramento, change camps, and kind of lose some friendships and relationships that you had?
We kind of agreed not to really, talk about it, but because, we're doing the show and because it's, I feel like I have to, that, I'm going to answer the questions, the hard questions in life, and that's a real sad one. Santa Rosa was a great place to train. I got nothing but respect for Dave Terrell and all the other great fighters out there. My jiu-jitsu would not be, my fight career would not be where it is right now. I won 11-0 fights in a row. But after I went 11-0, I lost 4 out of 5 fights. I wasn't developing my stand-up. I wasn't developing my wrestling to the point, and not that those things aren't available in Santa Rosa, it just wasn't working out for me. And I was actually moved out here to get a job at a casino. I was pretty much ready to retire because things weren't going my way. But when I got out here and I stepped into the mat at Ultimate Fitness and I met Uriah, it just felt like something clicked, it was where I was meant to be, and it was like home. And people were like, why would you come here? There's no big guys, da da da. And it was like, I feel like God sent me here to do some big things. So unfortunately, the Cesar Gracie team and the Dave Terrell is really old school, traditional, family, teams of family, you don't leave your family, all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, I had to do what was best for me. I had to do what was best for David Mitchell. If you don't help number one in this life, you can't help anybody else. You can't do much, And don't fix it if it ain't broken, but it was broken. So I made the move out here, and it breaks me up a little bit because it breaks my heart. There's a lot of good friends that I made there that I don't hardly talk to anymore. Not because they wouldn't talk to me, but because if I called them up, it's like just taking salt and just grinding it in a pretty nasty wound. And
you miss Santa Rosa and your old fight team?
Of course, every day I miss the people, the personalities, Nate Loughran, the people that I lived with over there, and Jordan Rohana, people that opened their houses and their homes to me, Raul, flew with me all over the world and were with me through the losses, and I will never forget all your help. And there's certain people that I will keep in touch with. I hope that I hope that everyone can forgive me for leaving, but I wasn't running away from anything. I was moving towards somewhere that I feel like I needed to be.
Have you felt like you've had your defining moment in MMA? Like that ultimate time, that ultimate fight? Have you had your defining moment?
I think you got a lot more to see from David Mitchell. I'm not done yet. I know I'm 34 years old and maybe it's a young man's game, but you know, Dan Henderson the other day, 44 years old or whatever he is, just kicking people's ass. So that's a decade away from me. So I think that in the next decade I can really make an impact in the sport. And the defining moments that I've had so far, I think, I didn't realize it at the time, but fighting Bobby Green and tapping him out in 54 seconds. It felt at the time like taking candy from a baby, and I almost wanted to fight somebody else right after, but now that he's made the impact that he's made in the UFC, and that goes down as kind of a defining moment. I kind of feel like, someone that's had as many fights as I've had and had the experience fighting in Brazil twice and all over the place, and if I'm not going for the world title, then it's probably time to hang him up or just do something for entertainment, to entertain myself, like maybe doing some boxing or wrestling or whatever like that, or just a show for fun. But if I'm gonna really stay in the sport and try to get back into the UFC, then I know what it's like. It's dog years in the UFC. A year in the UFC can be really tough. So I'm not in it. Not in it for anything less than the title. I want to win the UFC welterweight title.
I'm Danny Castillo, and stay tuned for more Meet the Fighter.
Okay, David, here we are at the Iron Thumb. What exactly is it that you're doing here?
I come to Peter Bear. He's the Iron Thumb. He's like the best body worker in Sacramento. He's worked on Marvin Gaye and like Olympians, the track teams, all this kind of stuff. He could probably tell you more about it. We hook up the oxygen bar and just get more oxygen in my body. And we'll do that for like 15 minutes. Also, we got What the Kale, fresh pressed vegetable juice, and they're hooking up some fresh vegetable juice, and so I just sip on that while I'm on the oxygen. And then we'll go get on the table, maybe some infrared, whatever Pete wants, and then rub out some knots and just try to kick back and relax and get some therapy. And once I get my body work done, I come back out here and get back on a little more oxygen. And we do this twice a week, and it's just really helped me be able to stay young and perform at the highest level,
Infrared pad to help break down some of his tissues here and help it heal. Get the back loose, get them both going at the same time.
So again, the whole idea here is to start breaking down the body, releasing a lot of toxins.
Break them all down.
Okay.
Get them back to somewhat normal.
Okay.
Get everything broke down. You got a lot of knots, these guys. So they'll feel a little pain in here. This is not the foo-foo massage.
With your background, obviously you were a nurse and everything, so you have a better understanding of the human body, the athlete's body, and what needs to be done. And
Yeah, better, huh?
yeah. Getting rubbed down, absolutely. It sounds like a great idea. And Pete, man, you're doing a great job.
You use that muscle a lot. So it's knotted up, it's tight. Okay. Good. All right. Get some oxygen.
Feel like a new man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no more than 30 minutes of oxygen.
I saved some juice. You guys.
There you go, yeah.
You heard it now.
It was too good, man. We had to drink that down.
Try to eat some of this.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
Pull the black off of it and cut something down. You want it?
I like to drink that cucumber like right when I wake up in the morning. I'm messing your floor all up. Straight cucumber juice. This is what you were raised on?
Oh,
No
yeah.
wonder you're kicking so much ass.
Well, hey, David, you know what? It's been a very exciting day. It's been a long day. We've been to 3 different training centers. We went out and we had some great food and some really good conversation. I want to thank you for being on our show, Meet the Fighter. It's been a pleasure working with you.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you guys too. You know, it's awesome, Tyson. Like, you know, this kind of just immortalizes the fact that you guys are here and taking the time to film my day. And it has been a really long day, and we're just. It makes it all worth it, you know, to grind out such a long day when you know that we can put this on film and no one can ever take it away. It's just there forever. And, I think it's going to be a great show, and I really thank you guys too.
Well, it's our pleasure. So what's next for you? What are you planning on doing now?
Well, today go home and pass out on my face. It's been we've been going since 8 this morning, and tomorrow get up and do some sparring, and in 2 more weeks I'll fight Jamie Hara on April 26th at the McClellan Conference Center. So I'm really looking forward to that. Kind of winding down the training camp, and then after that, hopefully that's hopefully God willing, I win that fight, and that's be the road back to the UFC shortly.
Well, it sounds exciting, and we look forward to seeing your fight. And we wish you all the best of luck. It's been our pleasure having you here on Meet the Fighter. Once again, I want to thank you, and I want to thank each and every one of you for being here with us on Meet the Fighter.
Well, there is.
Meet the Fighter.
Awesome dude right here. We're going to do some big things.
Meet the Fighter.
So Joe, it was a pleasure meeting you. Thanks for having us here.